Good Thursday evening. Welcome to BCP Live. Hi, I'm Joey McWilliams. Glad that you are joining us tonight. It is a chilly late October night, and, well, no doubt about that. I mean, if you haven't been outside, it's actually a little bit warmer than it has been the last couple of nights, but still, I was able to see my breath walking over to the studio. I can probably still see my breath right now, and that's okay because hopefully you can't see yours. You're inside and just enjoying where you are, as it looks like it's a comfortable setting for my guest tonight. Welcome into the broadcast, Hudson Toews of Woodman Life, but specifically tonight, Hudson Toews of the Kiwanis. Hudson, thanks for joining us, man.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Now, I always talk about the folks that are on here. I've had an opportunity to know Hudson for a long time, as a number of folks in Durant, a number of the guests that we've had. Some folks I'm just getting to meet for the first time, and I thoroughly enjoy the opportunity to get to meet some of the new people in the town and the county. Hudson's been around for a little while. And I actually had a chance to coach your sister in basketball.
Yeah.
During her senior season, got that final semester in, and your family's been around the area for a while. So I think, it's a blessing to have you on tonight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, all right. If you know Hudson, then one thing you know about him is that he is involved in the town and in the county and in the community. And that's a big part of what the Kiwanis does. Anyway, the Kiwanis organization, which has been around for a long time. Talk a little bit about Kiwanis first, because I know we're 5 days away. We are now 5 days away from one of the biggest events in Bryan County, Pancake Day. That's what it is. I know some of y'all were thinking there were other things going on in 5 days. Well, what do you know? Let me tell you, it is Pancake Day. That is what it's all about. But before we get into that, tell us a little bit about the organization.
Sure. Yeah. So Kiwanis is actually an international organization. But of course, we have a local club here in Durant, and that's what I really want to focus on tonight, is talking a little bit about that. So our local club in Durant, we stand for a couple things, and the biggest things that we say are serving the children of our community and serving the children of the world. And how that plays out is through a number of different programs that our club orchestrates. We support other organizations here in Durant that are focused on kids, such as the Boys and Girls Club. Specifically, some of the programs that the Kiwanis Club has are scholarships for graduating students to help them with higher education. If you've ever had the opportunity to attend our Kiwanis Easter egg hunt, that is an amazing event that we did not get to have this year. But each year, it is just an absolute blast. It's a community-wide event. We invite all ages of kids to come out to this thing, and it really gives all the kids that come out to it an opportunity to be involved with an Easter egg hunt that potentially they may not have been able to be involved with. Another one of our annual programs is the third grade track meet that takes place in the spring. Again, if you haven't had the opportunity to be a part of that, it is absolutely phenomenal for those kids. So a bunch of third graders, we get them out on the field. They compete in long jumps, sprints. I mean, you name it, we do it. And our big headline event at the end of the day is a tug of war competition, just to keep it fun. And so it's just an absolute blast to see those kids get involved, to be able to build that camaraderie, and just to be able to pour into those kids' lives, And so, I mean, all of that, and that's just a tidbit of some of the things that we do. But really, we like to say in the club that the children of our community need Kiwanis. It is very, very important, plays a huge impact in a lot of kids' lives. And just helps them grow up to be the future adults of our community.
Very much so. Yeah, I actually had a chance. I was in the Key Club when I was in high school, which is also an outreach of the Kiwanis. It's an opportunity for high school kids to be involved in service to the community. I think there's a college organization too, isn't that Circle? What is a college organization?
Don't get me lying on that one, but I can
say words to the. I think one of the years I was at Southeastern, I was in the college branch as well too. Maybe Jason Manis may know. Jason, bringing the Shamrocks tonight as always, and also bringing the little. I believe those are pancake emojis. I didn't know that was such a thing. We have pancake emojis on the show tonight. I don't know. I mean, what more do you want on your broadcast? So anyway, Jason bringing the shamrocks and the pancakes tonight. Hi Denise. Hi Cuz. Glad you're watching tonight as well. Other folks watching tonight here as we have Hudson Toews on the broadcast with, I was going to say Circle K, but I kept thinking, no, that's a convenience store. Joey, you're completely off the mark. Circle K. That was the name of the broadcast. Or the name of the college organization. So welcome to the broadcast. Hey, listen, if you I don't know what you expected in your BCP Live, but if you're listening to Hudson and me right now, yeah, this is a typical show. So that is all right. Hudson, you fit right in here on BCP Live. Look, we're talking about Pancake Day because Pancake Day is, again, just 5 days away. Now, I know that, there's this election thing going on, too, that we've only been hearing about, I think, most of our natural lives to this point. But it's coming up on Tuesday as well. Lots of folks have already been voting. The line out of the courtroom of the Bryan County Courthouse today was pretty much around the block. I mean, there are folks that are getting out to vote in droves. It will be that way on Tuesday, too. But you don't want to go and not have the strength to vote. Man, you got to have your pancakes, right? And I know this is something that's going to happen even through the beer bug era in which we live. There's going to be Pancake Day. So talk about that on Tuesday, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. still, right?
Exactly, yeah. So Pancake Day, it is by far our biggest fundraiser for the Kiwanis Club of Durant. Basically funds our entire year, honestly. So this year, we kind of had to approach it a little bit different just because of the current situation. But we are taking our safety precautions. All of the individuals that are volunteering to help with it are going to be wearing masks. We're checking temperatures. We've even narrowed it down to go only. So whenever you come to get your pancakes, you're actually going to be able to just stay in your car. We're going to bring the pancakes to you, and you're going to be able to enjoy those pancakes, at your house, in the car, at the park, wherever you feel necessary.
While I'm driving?
Well, be a little safe.
You're not recommending that.
Don't pancake and drive.
We're not officially recommending that here from BCP Live. I'm just pitching that scenario.
Yeah, but like you said, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., we're going to be out there all day serving them up hot with the sausage, to-go waters. I mean, we're going to get you taken care of regardless. It's still going to be an awesome event, and we're so excited to see everybody out there that day.
Usually I come in the evening, and it's, I'm a big fan of breakfast for dinner. I really am. I will make pancakes and bacon and sausage at the house on it. Seriously, I mean, maybe every other week. The kids are used to that. I enjoy doing it. It's just something as a dad I enjoy doing too. But I do it in the evening. So if I switch things around and I come in the morning, you said to-go water. Is there to-go coffee? I'm just asking.
No to-go coffee.
Okay.
We're trying to we're trying to minimize any opportunities for some type of exposure to anything. So
all right.
We're keeping it as safe as possible with that. But hey, you know what? I'll take the load off of you for next week. You won't have to worry about cooking dinner for your kids. We'll take care of that. You just show up, okay?
All right. I am definitely going to do that. Speaking with Hudson Toews tonight here on BCP Live. And we will also a little bit later on in the broadcast be addressing State Question 805. That's on the ballots here in the state of Oklahoma. Be looking at that. Had some questions about that last night. I don't know that I have all the answers, but we are going to talk about that and hopefully prepare you to get to vote if you have not been one of the, I don't know, many people that have voted already today. Maybe you turned in early voting. That's gone in as well. Mailed in your ballot. Boy, that was a chore. I watched that get done one day. Oh my goodness, what it takes to mail a ballot in. I think you have to have at least a postgraduate degree to get that done. I'm not sure. I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Anyway, by the way, Pancake Day, and I was looking at this with some information provided to me, serving generally around 3,000 people each year. That's pretty cool. This year, by the way, anonymous donors have paid for tickets for the Durant Police Department, Fire Department, as well as the Bryan County Sheriff's Department, and IHOP. And I think this is really cool. IHOP, you think of pancakes? How about giving back to the community? IHOP paying for the Boys and Girls Club kids to get to go to Pancake Day. Hudson, that's just incredibly cool.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal to see the community come together in a number of different ways. Just little $5 ticket really goes a long way for these pancakes.
No, it definitely does, and I think that's a neat thing. We're talking about giving back into the community, and you were talking about college scholarships and things like that. The Kiwanis do that, and also, we've got even the new the Lake Durant Disc Golf Course. You guys are the naming sponsor for that too. This has become a big thing in Durant. This disc golf.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a project of a past president, Jeremy Rowland, if you know who he is.
Oh yes.
Kind of orchestrated that whole thing and got it together. We were really, really happy to support that. Just another way to give back to the community.
By the way, Jeremy, he's a little younger than I am. I would say, I'm not going to give his age, but I'm just telling you, it's close to mine. So that having been said, had some time in youth group back with him years and years ago, as well as his wife was one of my children's teacher in second grade too. So
Okay.
that's pretty neat. Well, hey, listen, we've got. I wanted to bring that out there because we have great people around our community who are involved in Kiwanis, and it's always been an organization that anytime you bring that up, I think about the great people like you that are there and who represent Kiwanis and who make it into a great organization.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, we can go back years and years, and the list goes on and on of individuals from the community that have been a part of Kiwanis and continue to make it a great organization. You're absolutely right.
All right, so you're going to be there, right? And you're gonna take care of. I'm gonna ask for your pancakes if for when I show up. So
I'm gonna. Yeah, I'll have to upgrade the to-go boxes because my pancakes, especially,
Yeah.
I'll hook you up.
And beyond. You go. All right. That is fine. So tell us one more time then, as we wrap up our time together tonight, Hudson. So what's the deal on Tuesday? Where do they go? How much do they need to bring if they haven't purchased a ticket already? Where can they get tickets now? Because I know they're available. I actually saw some today. And so I know they're available and out there. And what are the times?
Sure, absolutely. So next Tuesday, it's going to be November 3rd, Election Day. You can't forget it. Just associate the two. It's going to be from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Bryan County Fairgrounds. If you don't have your ticket in advance, it's $6 at the door, but you can grab tickets in advance from any of your local Kiwanians, including myself. So if you're watching this tonight, Joey can point you in the right direction how to get in touch with me, and we'll be happy to get you some of those $5 tickets.
All right. And I regularly drive by Hudson's cool office. I think Hudson has like one of the coolest offices around. I wonder if Hudson ever gets tired of me saying that, because every time I stop by, that's like the first thing I'll say. Dude, I love your office. So he's in town. Lots of other folks are in town, and they can definitely get you connected with the tickets. Hudson, thank you so much for stopping by tonight and talking about that. It's a big thing for our community. I will say that I'm going to miss not getting to come in, because that's a big part of it for me too. I mean, my kids think I know everyone in town, which is not true. But I'm getting there. I'm working on it. And this is one of those places that you get to stop by and you get to see all the folks around from so many different parts of your life. People that you know from Southeastern, people that you know from the Durant school system, people from church, people from other things that other business. And they're all together and just enjoying pancakes and really a good time together. And honestly, it didn't matter who they voted for or who they were going to vote for. And that really should not be an issue, because we're a community. We're not all going to see things the same way, but man, we can sit down and have pancakes and sausage, and some years bacon and coffee and milk and all that stuff too. So I just appreciate it. I'm going to miss that though, Hudson.
Hey, hopefully we'll be able to come back to it in the future and do it like we've done it before. This year it is going to be a little bit different, but that does not lower the importance of this event for fundraising for the Durant Kiwanis Club.
That's right, and that's a big deal. And we have a lot of organizations around Bryan County that still need events like this to support the things that each one of them do. And of course, this is a big deal. Hudson Toews, thank you so much. You're getting props from Jason on this, and we appreciate him watching tonight. Jason, thank you for bringing the shamrocks and the pancake emojis. I think Hudson did a great job too. Hudson, thanks for stopping by, man.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Anytime you have the open invitation. That is Hudson Toews. Woodman Life, by the way. He's the man here in Bryan County for Woodman Life. So get all your needs taken care of. He actually has an office on Evergreen. Stop by, do business with Hudson because he's one of our local businessmen, and you definitely want to do that. I know he has a lot on his plate. Of course, that's could be a pun with us talking about Pancake Day lately. But definitely, you need to stop by and support the Kiwanis. They do so much for our kids, for the young kids, for the teenagers, of course, into college as well. And so we appreciate that. All right, I'm trying to keep up with the comments tonight. If I miss some, please forgive me. I will do my best to get all of that taken care of because we're going to bring up a graphic here in a moment. It is going to be just me tonight. I did hope to have somebody else on who would talk, but I've decided in talking about State Question 805, we're going to just look at a couple of things, and I want to read some of this out loud. And I think sometimes when you look at something, it goes only so far. When you actually hear some of the things out loud and it stands out to you, you might be able to get it more. I am not declaring a side when we get to State Question 805. I am simply going to read from a website that I found to be an interesting website. I think it presents both sides. And so we're going to talk about that. So we're going to be informed voters tonight. If you have not voted yet, then we're definitely going to do that. Linda, I'm glad you're watching. Hey, listen, it's okay to be late, although you don't want to miss Hudson. Man, you don't want to miss Hudson. He was fun. Enjoyed having him on tonight. Michelle, thanks for watching tonight. Yes, Dottie, I think it wasn't you. It was definitely Jack probably traumatizing my kids. Is anybody surprised by this? I don't think anyone should. No one's surprised by that at all. So anyway, but they have fun with Jack. Everybody has fun with Jack. I enjoy going to the event and talking to the people because that's just who I am. And I mean, there are a lot of folks around here that are that way too. Mrs. Patriot enjoys going to events when we're together because if she's not going to talk as much as I do, and she knows I will. So, we all fill our roles. Everybody fills their roles well. All right, let me say thank you to all of our sponsors. I don't have the list in front of me right now, but so many great sponsors on the Bryan County Patriot. And please do check out the site, BryanCountyPatriot.com, BryanCountyPatriot.com. So many great sponsors, so many great advertisers, so many great folks that I've had a chance to again stop by, visit people in their offices. It's really one of the great joys that I have in getting to do this particular in this time in my life. And God's given me this opportunity with this business, doing the things I'm doing right now, in getting to stop by and just talk to people, sometimes pray with people, visit with people, learn about what their business is doing, what's going on. It is a privilege. It's a pleasure. And these guys are advertising and sponsoring the Bryan County Patriot. They have a lot of good in each and every one of their businesses. So please do check it out, BryanCountyPatriot.com. So let's, as I would say when I was a teacher, let's go to the map, shall we? So we are going to go to the map right now, and I'm going to try to keep up with comments, but please forgive me. I've got monitors going all over the place right now. It's going to be a little bit challenging. So what I have here, this is Ballotpedia. And the first thing we're going to do, and we're going to spend about 15 minutes on this, so bear with me, no commercial breaks, but we're going to try to get through this and talk it through. I'm going to read this as it is, and then we'll talk about it some. This is State Question 805. This measure seeks to add a new Article 2A to the Oklahoma Constitution. We are amending the Constitution of the state of Oklahoma with this bill. This new article accepts and does not apply to persons who have ever been convicted of a violent felony. It would prohibit the use of a former felony conviction to increase the statutorily allowable base range of punishment for a person subsequently convicted of a felony. Individuals who are currently incarcerated for felony sentences that were enhanced based on one or more former felony convictions and whose sentences are greater than the maximum sentence that may currently be imposed for such felonies may seek sentence modification in court. The new article sets forth a detailed process for such sentence modification, including but not limited to requirements for a hearing, appointment of counsel for indigent petitioners, and notification of victims, and requires that the court impose a modified sentence no greater than the current maximum sentence, which may be imposed on a person convicted of the same felony with no former felony convictions, and which results in no greater time served in prison than under the original sentence. It establishes an appeal procedure, provides an effective date, and contains a severability clause. All right. How about that? Wasn't that fun? Did you enjoy reading that? Okay. One of the things that stands out to me, this has, and there is something called the, let's see what it's exactly, I forgot what it was called. It is the Fleisch, FLESCH reading ease formula. There is a reading ease formula. This one got a score of 19. This is on a scale of 1 to 100. 100 being easy to read, 1 being difficult to read. As a matter of fact, the scale goes from like 1 to 30 or 0 to 30 means if you're going to read this and really get this down, you need to be a college graduate. Okay, 0 to 30, if you get a score on the reading ease of 0 to 30, it's for folks who are college graduates. Now, that's not to say that someone who didn't graduate from college doesn't know how to read this or understand this, but it's saying basically this is not easy to read. And we've talked about that. Now, this is not one side or the other, so I'm not trying to promote or take a pro or a con on one side or the other of this bill. I am simply saying this is not easy to read. And personally, Joey's opinion, labeled as such, that's by design. Let's go back and then let's look once again at what this is going to be saying. So that's the actual text that you will look at. Shall the proposal be approved? For the proposal, yes. Against the proposal, no. All right. So let's go back up here and kind of see what this is all about. If you're voting for, a yes vote supports prohibiting using a person's past nonviolent felony convictions to impose a greater or an enhanced sentence when sentencing a person convicted of a nonviolent felony. I want to get back to nonviolent felony here in just a moment. Providing the sentence modifications for eligible individuals serving or set to serve sentences that were enhanced based on past felony convictions. So this can actually, what they're saying here, this will actually go back then, if this bill passes, people who were sentenced with a greater sentence based on the fact that they had committed a felony, been sentenced for that felony, gotten out of prison, committed another felony, and now the sentence is greater than the first one, they can go back and say, hey, listen, you can't make me serve longer because State Question 805 passed. A no vote opposes the amendment, thereby maintaining that a person convicted of a nonviolent felony can receive greater enhanced sentences based on past felony convictions. So the bottom line of this, and I'm going to put my words on this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not spinning it, I'm just putting words and see if this helps get through this just a little bit easier. If State Question 805 passes, it's saying it doesn't matter what you've done in the past as long as it wasn't what's called a violent felony. If you've committed a violent felony, this state question does not apply to you. Hopefully no one listening has committed a violent felony or was planning on committing a violent felony. If you have committed a nonviolent felony, then, okay, is it your first conviction? This is how much you can be sentenced. From here to here. You can't go past this maximum. You served your time. You got out of prison. You committed another nonviolent felony. So what it's saying is, here's your sentence guidelines from here to here. And it can't be more just because you committed a nonviolent felony before. So anything you've done in the past that's not a violent felony, it's totally irrelevant. The judge can't look at that when sentencing you. And hey, whatever. It doesn't matter what you've done in the past. It's like, Rafiki says, it's in the past. So whatever's in the past is in the past. So let's look at this again, and let's see what nonviolent. Well, one of the things, I'm only going to mention one nonviolent felony, and I know people do need to understand what nonviolent felonies are, but I'm only going to mention one here in just a moment. So state question 805: if you've committed a violent felony, ever been convicted of a violent felony, this does not apply to you. Okay, so it looks on down. Who is supporting and who is opposing state question 805? Those who support. Yes, 805 is leading the campaign in support of the initiative. Supporters include the ACLU of Oklahoma and Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform, which sponsors state question 780 and other things that were there in the past, similar things. State question 780 changed certain nonviolent drug and theft-related crimes from felonies to misdemeanors. Let me read that again. State question 780 changed certain nonviolent drug and theft-related crimes from felonies to misdemeanors, which come with a maximum penalty of 1 year in prison and a fine of $1,000. Yes on 805 argued, our incarceration crisis is fueled in large part by harsh, extreme sentences that are stacked against Oklahomans to punish them for previous mistakes. These enhanced sentences unfairly punish Oklahomans for debts they have already paid, and tip the balance of legal proceedings even more toward prosecutors. Unfair, extreme sentencing leads to more of our family members, friends, neighbors, and fellow Oklahomans in prison for longer periods of time. The result, Oklahomans pay more in taxes to imprison our people, reduce our workforce, and leave families in poverty longer. Okay. Now, I'm reading that from, and I'm sorry, I thought I had the window open for that. I didn't have the window open for that. So let me just put that out there really quickly. Let me say that whether this law passes or not, we're not imprisoning Oklahomans who haven't committed felonies. Can we get that down? That particular statement, and again, I'm not saying for or against it. I want to say that's a misleading statement. Okay? Let me read it again, and let's put it up there so you can see this. That's a misleading statement. Unfair, extreme sentencing leads to more of our family members, friends, neighbors, and fellow Oklahomans in prison for longer periods of time, not the ones who haven't committed felonies. If you haven't committed a felony, you're not going to prison. So that's a misleading statement and needs to be called out for what it is. Let's continue reading. Oklahomans United Against 805 is leading the campaign in opposition to State Question 805. Opponents of the measure include Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, Oklahoma District Attorneys, Oklahoma Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, and Help in Crisis. Candida Mannion, Executive Director of the Oklahoma Coalition Against Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault, said, when abusers aren't held accountable, the violence escalates, and that's when they end up killing someone. In Oklahoma, we don't hold offenders accountable already, but whatever was there, State Question 805 will remove that, making it worse. So that is the pros, the cons, who's for it, who's against it. We've talked about the text of the measure there, the sentence modifications. You can go back. This will grandfather people in. And let's look again. Those who are for this state question. Here we go. Supporters. Oklahoma State Senator Julia Kurt, Democrat. Oklahoma State Senator Kevin Matthews, Democrat. Oklahoma State Senator Jabbar Shumate, Democrat. Oklahoma State Senator George Young, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Kelly Albright, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Forrest Bennett, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Jason Dunningham, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Regina Goodwin, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Ronnie Johns, Republican. Oklahoma State Representative Gary Mize, Republican. Oklahoma State Representative Monroe Nichols, Democrat. Oklahoma State Representative Daniel Pay, Republican. And Oklahoma State Representative Corey Williams, Democrat. former Governor Brad Henry, former Governor David Walters, both Democrats, the ACLU of Oklahoma, Americans for Tax Reform, Democracy for America, the Oklahoma Council of Public Affairs, Oklahomans for Criminal Justice Reform. Those are all in favor of State Question 805. Those who oppose State Question 805. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt, Republican. Oklahoma District Attorney Jason Hicks. Oklahoma District Attorney Craig Ladd. Cleveland County District Attorney Greg Mashburn. Former Oklahoma Governor Frank Keating, Republican. Laura Kester, or if I mispronounce that, I'm sorry. Help in Crisis Executive Director. The Oklahoma Association of Chiefs of Police. The Oklahoma Sheriff's Association. All oppose this state question. And you can go through there if you'd like to on your own. This is ballotpedia.org. Ballotpedia.org. So, there we go. Denise, definitely mumbo jumbo. Yeah, it's a tough one to get through. It really is. People need to understand what a nonviolent felony is in our state. And I said I would go back to that, and I'll start to wrap up our time. We passed the half-hour mark tonight. Thank you for watching. If you've been watching all this time, God bless you. Jamie, as in baseball, there are no strikeouts. Bottom line is this: stop being a criminal. And Jamie's right. And so I'm going to go ahead and post what you said, Jamie, because I'm not going to, but I do want to present both sides. And so there is that. Now, let me point out one more thing. In 2008, the Supreme Court, not the Oklahoma Supreme Court, the United States Supreme Court. And I want to pause there for a second and say, when you nominate and put someone on the Supreme Court and that person does not try to make new law, but simply tries to interpret the law that is there, that's not a bad thing. That's what a Supreme Court justice is supposed to do. Supreme Court justices are not supposed to create law. Supreme Court justices are not supposed to legislate. That's why we have different branches of government. And if you put someone in the Supreme Court who will simply read the law, decide this is what the law is saying, and make decisions upon that law, that's who you want in the Supreme Court. Now, let's go back to nonviolent felony. In 2008, in a case called Begay versus the United States, having to do someone in New Mexico and having arms, firearms, things like that, had DUI in his past. And it was determined by the Supreme Court, who declared that a DUI is not a violent felony. That is a non-violent felony. Let me say this one more time. The Supreme Court of the United States of America has determined and is on record in 2008 as saying a DUI is not a violent felony. It is a non-violent felony. So if someone had a DUI and someone else unfortunately was injured because of a wreck in a DUI, or possibly was killed in a wreck because of a DUI, the judge, if State Question 805 passes, the judge in this instance would not be able to look back and say, well, you know, you've had a DUI in the past. You really need to go away for a long time. No. What's in the past is in the past, according to State Question 805. And it's never to be brought up again. So the sentence, again, would be only from here to here. Can't be a greater sentence. And by the way, a judge has the decision to sentence within a certain guideline anyway. Nobody said the judge had to put it in had to be all the way at the maximum. Could be at the minimum. He could decide this is a situation where this person did wrong, and made a mistake, we're going to give them a lesser sentence, or could be a greater sentence. But again, if state question 805 passes, then what's in the past is in the past. Now, I did not give you my opinion. I read the text, which was a challenge, but I read the text of the state question. Then we talked about who was for it. Then we talked about who was against it. Then we talked about what it would do if it passes. And if it doesn't pass, nothing's going to change. This is what is in front of you in state question 805. And I know, Linda, you had talked about this the other day. I hope that that this has been explained as well as I can explain it without really going too deep and giving my opinion on that. Well, no, Mike's talking about domestic abuse, domestic violence, burglary. Some of those things are not going to come into violent felonies. As a matter of fact, some of the burglary issues, Mike, not only are not a non-violent felony, but according to state question, I believe, what was it we were talking about, 780, get moved down to just misdemeanors. So there is that. Anyway, that is state question 805. That is what is on the ballot. If you haven't voted already, you're going to have that chance to vote. Susan Chalk, we talked about you last night on the show. My goodness. Oh, my goodness. You're going to be a part of the trick-or-treating that's going on out at Clifton's Furniture. So there you go. Armed robbery. I don't know on that one. I think that's one we'll have to look up. The one that stood out to me, and it's something that Jamie pointed out in the comments. The one that stood out to me was the DUI, and that's a nonviolent felony, so it would fall under 805. So there you go. And thank you guys. I appreciate that. I really, honestly, this is one of those things I would have enjoyed having somebody else talk it through. But sometimes when you read things out loud, it stands out to you a little bit more. And while I'm on the subject about that, I'll take my time. I haven't had a chance to preach to you all in a while, so I'll say this too. You know, the word says that faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. That's in Romans 10:17. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. And it doesn't say where you have to hear it. And I know sometimes I will actually take the time to read the Bible out loud to myself so I can hear it. You know, there's something about reading it on my paper and on my Bible in front of me. There's something about, reading I've got my app here. There's my Seahawks logo. I've got my app here, and I can read my Bible there. But I'll tell you what, there's also something, and usually if nobody else is around. However, I've been known to read my Bible out loud if people are in the room with me. But there's something about that. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. There's something to it when you hear it. And I think that's what we did tonight. I wanted to read it to you and just go, man, there's something to hearing this. It's more than just the words on the page. So anyway, that's that. We'll make our decisions. So please do pray. Please do pray. Don't stop praying about your decisions. You need to get out there and vote. So Jamie, I promised, and so I'm gonna try to leave it in the comment section. But Jamie's comment is there. Please do read the comments. Go from there. But I would say this: don't get caught up in the misleadings. I just had to call out a misleading statement. That was a misleading statement. Whether you vote yes or no on 805, if you didn't commit if you didn't commit a felony, you're not going to prison. So don't pawn it off in your comments that, well, more people are going to prison now if this doesn't get passed. No. Don't commit crimes. That's not hard. Don't commit crimes. And this doesn't affect you. At least from the sentencing purposes. Obviously, you don't want to be on the wrong end of any of these crimes. But if you're not committing the crime, sentence, that's not an issue for you. Anyway, pray about these things. You have a lot going on. Hey, 5 days from now, man, I got to work on lighting out here. 5 days from now is Kiwanis Pancake Day. So keep that in mind. Hudson did a great job tonight. Glad to have Hudson Toews on the show. Glad for comments from Jason Manus as well. I appreciate him, and he does a fantastic job. So we appreciate that. All right. Hey, Kayla, man, it's nice to see you on board tonight. I appreciate. I saw you across the room yesterday, so I appreciate you and looking forward to hope good things for the new business in town. We'll have to talk about that. There we go. Pray for things you're uncertain about. I'm sure the Bible says you reap what you well, and you know what? It does say that. It says that in Galatians, we do reap what we sow. God's not a respecter of persons, and we do reap what we sow. So pray for those things. But that's going to help me lead to wrapping this up tonight. Be wise. Wisdom comes from God. People say, well, with age comes wisdom. No, with age comes age. In some people's case, with age comes wrinkles. I saw the picture of me yesterday on Facebook with Jasper that I took with him and was celebrating his first birthday. And I have some little laugh lines over here. And that's okay. You know why? Because I laugh. And it's all right to laugh. And I've got a few more, got a few less actually hair, but a few more wrinkles up here than I had before. That's what happens with age. But age doesn't make you wise. You can have experience with age. You can have understanding with age. But age doesn't make you wise. Wisdom comes from God. But the Bible says in James chapter 1, if you ask for wisdom, he said he would give it to you without finding fault. God's not going, my goodness, there's that person asking for wisdom again. Oh, my goodness. Do I have to give that person wisdom again? And he said he would give it to you liberally, generously, not liberally like some kind of political slant, liberally, generously. God gives us wisdom. Secondly, walk in love. There are going to be a lot of people over the next 5 days and beyond saying dumb things. Some of them might even say them to you. Some of them are going to be on your TV, on the radio, on your streaming device of whatever the case may be. People are going to say dumb things. Some of them may even say them to you. Love them anyway. Walk in love. And finally, walk in fear. Don't do it. Don't do it. You walk in respect. Know that there's stuff going on that's out there. Know that there is an actual virus, even though, and Brian, I hadn't seen Brian in a while. Brian says hashtag space virus. We've given this virus, a lot more than what it actually is. But be wise anyway. Don't put yourself in a bad position. Be wise. Just don't walk in fear. Okay? Don't do it. I see. Oh, my goodness. There you go. All right. When your kids start quoting you, it's time to get off the air. No. This is a good quote. My little beautiful. All of my kids have nicknames, and the one who just put the quote up there, hers is Little Beautiful. So let's go ahead and we'll keep this on here as we close. Be wise and be safe, and remember who you are, and remember who he is. That's a good one. That's a good one, Jen. Very good. All right. I love you guys. You all are awesome. Love you, Jen. Thanks for watching a little bit tonight. You all are incredibly cool people. I am very, very grateful that you stopped by tonight. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully we got to just enjoy the time together. I'm going to enjoy some pancakes in 5 days. And honestly, I may make some at home even over the weekend too. So we may have a lot of pancakes in the next little bit. That's all right. It's fun. Breakfast for dinner is a lot of fun. Jenna Page has had a lot of breakfast for dinner. There's no doubt about that. All right. God bless you all. Thank you for watching. You know what? I know our next broadcast is scheduled for Tuesday. I know that's election night. And Michelle, we may do it. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but if we do, we're going to smile, we're going to have fun, and we're just going to hopefully laugh a little bit and have a little fun. It's not like all the votes are likely going to be counted anyway by Tuesday night. Let's all be real. It is likely going to go into Wednesday and Thursday, and somebody's going to have a court injunction, and somebody's going to do this, and somebody's going to say that, and blah, 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 blah. So if we go on Tuesday night, let's just go on and have some fun, all right? In the meantime, I'm praying for you. Please pray for me. Be wise, walk in love, do not walk in fear, and God bless you all very, very much.